OYE Morning Minute. So glad to have you guys joining us today. I am your host, Casey Shepard, and joining me from One Oak is Donnie Krumzek here to visit with us today. So let's talk. You guys have been on the bandwagon for OYE forever and ever and ever. So talk a little bit about why One Oak continues to support this project.
You know, it's all about the kids. One Oak wants to invest in the future of agriculture because majority, if you don't know, majority of our pipeline, our assets run through rural America.
Sure.
And we want to have that one-on-one relationship with the owners of property and land. We want to have that one-on-one relationship with the agriculture community because the product that we do move through our pipeline does provide a majority, if not all, of the product that the kids use during
Sure.
their shows. The feed, the clothes they have on, the cars they drive, the trailers that they pull.
Absolutely.
The product that we move, natural gas, is used to produce all that. So we just feel like that we're investing in the future, that we're giving these kids an opportunity to do something that is a lot bigger for them. It makes us feel good. I mean,
Sure.
we like being a part of it. And I'm going to tell you, I raised my son in the country. He was born a redneck, and I just think the values that the agriculture provides to the kids puts them at the top of the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you raise your kids to teach them to say yes, ma'am, and no, sir, and all that, they're a breed of their own, and we want to be a part of it.
Well, and it is really the greatest kids. I mean, we've talked to so many people, especially like legislative event happened last night. It's so nice for everybody to get to see what kind of kids these are because if you don't ever visit the barn, you may not know.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We try to, we want to be a part of the next generation. We want to teach the next generation about pipeline safety,
Sure.
About working together. We have assets in our communities that these are pipelines that are moving product. It is a volatile product.
Sure.
So we want to teach pipeline safety. We want to teach about 811 before you dig. Call that number. It's a free number. It's provided for free. We pay for it. And it's about just a good working relationship with the landowners and the homeowners, and it gives us an opportunity to get out on the positive side of things and show that, hey, we want to give back to the communities. We want to be a part of what's going on. And a little bit of information. I'm a retired police officer. And
Oh, great. Now I'm really done.
Years and years ago, the state of Oklahoma passed a mandatory seatbelt law, and heavens, you thought the world had come to an end.
I remember that.
Everybody was against it because
You can't make me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We started working with the kids on the safety side of it. About it's a safety thing. It's not a we're
controlling your life thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're wanting to do the same thing with pipeline safety. We want to teach the kids at a younger age that, hey, 811. Give it a little bit of time, 48, 72 hours before you dig. Call 811. We'll come out. All the utility owners will come out that have assets in the area. They'll mark their pipelines. They'll mark their utilities, and you'll know exactly where not to dig. And we'll work with anybody and everybody.
Well, talk a little bit about the implications of people that don't call that number, right? Because you can ruin a lot of things.
Absolutely. There is a fine that goes with that.
Okay.
That 811 law is enforced by the Oklahoma Corporation Commission. You can be monetarily fined for it.
Okay.
And on the safety side of it, it can be very dangerous.
Sure.
I mean, it can create great harm, if not kill you. So if you hit one of these lines, one of these assets, there's a potential, a possibility of explosion. Not to mention the environmental impact that it has in our communities. That if one of these lines are hit, it's just. And then also there's a civil liability that goes along with it. If a person maliciously or accidentally hits one of our lines and there's product loss and there's environmental impact, they can be responsible monetarily and civilly for it.
Well, and now you guys know it's just easier to call 811 or the former police officer will come find you.
Not me. I'm retired. I don't do that. I don't write tickets anymore.
Well, Donnie, thank you so much for being with us and being part of OYE for the longtime sponsorship. We just appreciate that you guys at One Oak keep continuing to pour into the kids.
We're glad to be here, and we hope all the kids win, but we know they can't.
Well, that's right.
They are winners for being here, though.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of winners, Bray, come on over. See how we segued right into that? We had a lot of winners last night at the Oklahoma Youth Expo because we had the legislative showmanship. So Blaine was on here with me yesterday talking just a little bit about it, but basically it's lawmakers that have volunteered to be teamed up with the 4-H FFA student, and then they're really showing the animal.
Yeah, absolutely. They get a few minutes prior to
Crash
prior to
course.
entering the ring, a real crash course in showing livestock, and then they get to compete and have an opportunity to meet with their constituents and students from all over the state. And it's really a unique experience for them when you think about the things that they get to do during legislative session. It's a busy time for them, but
Yeah.
always right at the start of spring break, we get them out here, and that's just a thing that's been really incredible to see here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. And it's interesting to me for the last few years that I've been putting that show on, how it's grown and the crowd's grown. There's a ton of people that
There
come
were
down there
so
and
many
watch.
people last night.
So it's really a unique experience, and it really gives our students an opportunity to have a conversation with their lawmakers and talk about how important this program is. And it's really important to the continued success of OYE because we do get some state funding,
Sure.
some state grants, and so we want them to continue to be supportive and do things that and craft laws that are good for this industry and good for agriculture as a whole. And so I think it's good for the entire agriculture community.
Sure.
And these kids get an opportunity to visit with them and talk to them a little bit about civics and those kind of things. So it's really a unique experience. And I would venture to say there's probably not a state in the country that has more legislative support
Oh yeah.
than our show here. And so it's really incredible. We also had some celebrities and some other
Oh yeah.
statewide elected officials here last night. There's literally not we let all those types of people participate in that, and they really enjoy it. Really enjoy the opportunity to visit with our students that we have here participating.
We had Dr. Shrum from OSU last night. We had the Attorney General. We had Dr. Lusk come in for us.
Yeah, Dean Lusk came in. We had the Secretary of State here, the state
Of course,
treasurer.
Blaine Arthur was the MC.
Secretary Arthur always does an incredible job there. She's
That's a
probably
hard
got the toughest
job.
job of the night. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
She has to remember every single one of those folks that are going around. And then sometimes she also has to act as the ringmaster to lead them through. So she did fantastic last night.
It really was an incredible evening.
Yeah. So much fun. And, when I was talking to Representative Burns a little bit about it before, also really important that the lawmakers that aren't necessarily rural, that don't know a ton about agriculture, that don't know about OYE, great opportunity to get them out here and see how much hard work these kids are doing.
Absolutely. I think if you look at the things that we work on at the state capitol, a lot of those are rural-urban split. And so the opportunity to get some of those legislators that, a lot of them may not even know the difference between a sheep and a goat until they come out here for the first time, and have that educational moment on top of everything else that's going on is really, really important. And I know our exhibitors and students that participate in that understand the importance of it and take it as an opportunity to engage those folks as well. And so certainly, we had folks from downtown Oklahoma City, downtown Tulsa, downtown Lawton. Those folks were all here participating as well. It's not just the rural legislators that know what they're doing coming out here. It's literally a vast majority of them. We had 137 participate, which was our largest.
Yeah, I was going to say that had to be a record, right?
Our largest legislative show. And so it just continues to grow, and it's almost become a can't miss event from folks at the state capitol.
And because it's so much fun to watch, is it not? Because
it really is.
You've got some former ag teachers or some folks like that are in there now where their kids showed, so they kind of have a concept of showing. Then you have the opposite end. And it just ends up being so much fun because there's such good sports about it.
Yeah.
They go to their kids and they're like, what do you recommend I do? But we had so many last night. I think we only had one or two mishaps. We had a sheep get away, right? Take off.
Yeah.
Because what did they not do? They took off the halter.
Yeah, that's right.
And Blaine Arthur told you guys yesterday not to do that. And then a wild pig for a little bit. But all came pretty well together.
Yeah, really smooth event, really outstanding job by our exhibitors.
Oh, absolutely.
And they usually, they do a great job of
preparing the
educating.
animals.
Yeah, that's
too.
right. That's right. And making sure they've got their good broke one down there. So.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Ag Mechanics show
Yeah.
because that was on a little bit different time this year, but I was so glad because the one thing that I hear all the time covering Ag Mechanics is when can I watch it? And sometimes we've had it in the past where they can't get down there as quick, but this year we did it all Saturday, so everybody got to watch it.
Yeah, we had our fifth annual Ag Mechanics contest
Mhm.
and show. It and it just keeps amazing me at the
Me
projects that
too.
these kids come up with to build and to put together, and it was really incredible. Looking back 5 years ago, at the very first show, we had about 60 projects. We've got a great set of superintendents, and this
Mhm.
kind of developed out of Mr. Jerry Renshaw's
Sure.
brainchild of trying to bring something like that to
Mhm.
OYE. Uh, 5 years ago, we had about 60 projects, and I think we checked in about 250
Yeah.
this year. And so it just keeps growing.
Mhm.
It's going to be interesting to see where we can put all these projects
Yeah.
here in a couple years. But it really is incredible. And if you haven't been out to OYE
Mhm.
to catch a glimpse of those projects, I'd encourage you to. We're trying to find the right spot in the schedule. We're trying to balance the
Yeah.
ease of ag instructors and
Yeah.
extension folks to be able to get those projects down here and set up, and while balancing moving in and out livestock. And
Sure.
so we're trying to find the right spot. But we had a great crowd, a great
Oh,
great
yeah.
group of people just walking through, checking out the projects, and that's the kind of thing that helps the contest grow.
Oh, sure.
There was probably some kids walking through there like, I never knew this was a part of
Right.
OIE, and now they might go home and decide they want to bring a project next year. So it really is incredible. And I think one thing that sets this contest apart from some of the others as far as ag mechanics goes
Mhm.
is the ability for the student to be there to show and to defend
Talk
their
about it.
project.
Yeah.
That goes into it as much as anything, and that's some of the conversations that we're having with some of these students as we're going through. Showmanship is a big part of that ag
Right.
mechanics show, because of you have the ability to sit there and interview with the judges and
Yeah.
tell them why you used these axles on this trailer,
Yes.
why you used this gauge of steel.
Mhm.
Those kinds of things that are important. And it's not just helping these kids, giving these kids an opportunity to show these projects that they made, but teaching them something along the
Yeah.
way. And they get really good critical thinking, really good uh, decision making
Mhm.
skills,
Public speaking.
and public speaking. And so, one of the things when we talk to ag instructors that are involved in this program, they talk about is after some of these students have an opportunity to talk about these projects, some of these students, and it's just like any program though, that they're not real social,
Yeah.
or some of the things that the contest brings out of them aren't necessarily their strengths before,
Mhm.
but giving them the opportunity to do that just builds them better for the future, makes them better humans, makes them
Sure.
better, future, uh, whatever they decide to go to in their
Yeah.
career. And so I think that's one thing that's really, really neat
Mhm.
about the Ag Mechanics Show. And it's been a lot of fun to be a part of
Oh,
it.
absolutely. Well, and what I love that you guys are doing here at OYE is you're giving kids that don't show opportunities to do cool stuff and at least get to be in the atmosphere of OYE because we had the pork derby yesterday.
Right.
Those kids had never showed.
Yes.
And now I heard from Kylie and a few folks yesterday that they said, I would have never shown had this not happened. So then they get a whole opportunity to maybe start showing livestock going forward. And like we've said about ag mechanics, those kids, if they didn't want to show an animal, they still have a super great talent that they're wanting to show off. And this is just a way to showcase it.
No doubt, no doubt. It's been fun having conversations around the new programs that we've been doing with
Mhm.
OYE. Last fall we had our shotgun contest.
Yeah.
So that's another addition that we've added to Oklahoma Youth Expo, and really just bringing kids in under the OYE brand and
Mhm.
giving them an opportunity to showcase whatever it is they choose to do. And so it's really interesting to talk to these students, and they're like, the OYE show that's the one we
Yeah.
want to win.
Right.
That's the one we want to
Right.
win. And so it's really cool that we have the venue here. The state of Oklahoma has that type of venue that gives kids that competitive uh, bug
Mhm.
to go out and try to win. And we talk about it all the time. Winning's not everything, but it's the
Mhm.
competitiveness along
Sure.
the way that builds the skills in these students
Oh, yeah.
and prepares them for the future.
Well, so since you're here and you're talking about the Grand Drive, do you have any sneak peeks you want to tell us about for Thursday?
You're talking to the wrong guy.
They don't let you do
on
anything?
Grand Drive sneak peeks. Yeah, that's out of my wheelhouse. You'd have to talk with Cass and JD about the Grand Drive antics.
But I'm guessing
I'm
it's
looking
gonna be
forward to it.
fantastic.
I have no doubt it'll be phenomenal. But yeah, that's
It's always so much fun, and everybody wants to get in the limo. So is the limo coming back?
I would assume.
Okay.
I would
All
assume.
right. We'll see. You heard it here, so we'll see what happens. Tell us a little bit about all the stuff happening today. If folks want to come out and visit the Youth Expo, everybody's welcome to come out. You don't have to have an animal. You can just come and see what it's all about. But we got a lot of stuff going on today.
Yeah, we're starting the market shows.
Yep.
You know, we were having a conversation this morning in the office. Is like, you know, we've already been here a week, but
Right.
we're really just getting started with maybe, you know, I know some of these students here have competed in some of the breeding shows,
Sure.
but a lot of them just have market animals.
Yep.
So, you know, we got a whole new set of kids here. The atmosphere is exciting.
Yes.
It's, you know, we haven't really reached peak yet.
No,
So
we're on our way up.
we're on our way up still. So looking forward to today. Looks like we're going to do some check-in with most of the species around here at OYE. Some contests this afternoon. The cattle fitting contest is going on this morning, and we're already showing bears. There's enough of those. We gotta get them started early. So that's really what's going on around here. I'd say if you want to come out, come on out. A lot of people have been worried about construction and the impact that's had.
Yeah.
It really doesn't have much of an impact. It takes up a little bit of the old parking, but flow of traffic's been good. Plenty of parking spots out at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Come out and visit with these students and catch up on their projects.
Absolutely. This one's for the girls, also happening today. And then, of course, tonight, the big Night of Stars gilt sale. So if you're looking for something to do, we've got plenty of it for you here, correct?
Absolutely. Yep. That'll be
We may even put you to work.
That's right.
Well, we got a lot of fun things going on here at OYE, so we invite everybody to come on down. We'll be back tomorrow to give you some more live updates and events, so you guys enjoy the rest of your day.